Welcome to day 4 of our Bahamas basketball virtual camp. This is the beginner's edition. Today we'll be working on passing, and we're going to put in a little bit of finishing at the end. Again, if you were struggling with some of the workouts from previous days, don't be discouraged, just keep working on it. We want it to be a challenge. So with that being said again, let's get right into it. So for our first passing drill of the day, we got chest passes. So with a chest pass, we want to get 2 hands on the ball, we want to get our elbows out, we want to step, and we want to push that ball as hard as we could, and let our teammate catch it in his chest. So again, chest pass is passed from the chest and caught in the chest. So right now, I'm going to bring Dwight in to help me and show you guys what's going on. If you don't have someone to pass to, feel free to use a wall or anything you can throw the ball off of. So again, we're here, gonna step, we want to fire the ball right into his chest. That's what we're seeing. We want to work on this with both feet. So sometimes I'm going to go right foot, sometimes I'll go left. So I'm going to step with the left, and I'm putting right in the chest. For this, we can go 10 to 20 reps each way, or you can go for time. Totally up to you. Next up, we have our bounce passes. So a bounce pass is very similar to a chest pass. Only difference is we're going to let the ball bounce before it gets to our teammate. So with a bounce pass, we're going to get 2 hands on the ball again, elbows out, going to step. This time we're going to push it into the ground so that it bounces, and then it's going to be caught by our teammate in his chest. So again, still pass from the chest, still caught at the chest. We don't want to bring it over our head and try to bounce it. There is a time for that, but that's not what we're going to get into right now. So right now I'm going to bring Dwight in again to help show us how to do a bounce pass. Now right now I have my footwork marked. This can be very important to mark in space. So sometimes I might want to hit the middle of the mat, I might want to hit closer to my side, or I might want to hit closer to Dwight's side so that I can get different angles of my pass. Okay, because it's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes you got to find a different angle to be able to get that pass to your teammate. Also, we don't want our bounce pass to bounce more than once. We want to be able to get it there in one bounce. So we're going to go, elbows out, going to step, pass. So right now I just hit the middle of the mat. Okay, we just hit the middle. Now I'm going to hit closer to me. Hard pass. You did a better job than I did. Then we're going to go further, right, closer to him. Okay, so as you can see, you can play with your different placements of your bounce pass. We're going to go to this 10 to 20 reps, or you can go for time. Make sure though that you get reps each way. Still want to get left foot and right foot when you do this. Next up, we have our overhead pass. So with our overhead pass, we want to grab the ball with 2 hands again, we want to bring it over our head, and we want to step, and we want to fire that ball as hard as we could to our teammate. With an overhead pass, it's thrown from over your head, and it should be caught above the head. So right now, bringing in Dwight one more time to help show you guys how we do this. So with this, you probably want to take a few more steps back. Give yourself some space. This is usually used on a skip pass where you got to pass cross court and you got to throw the pass over the defense so that they can't reach it. So right now we're going to go 2 hands on the ball. I'm going to step. I'm going to fire the ball as well. We fire it right back. Same thing with the opposite foot. All right. 10 to 20 reps each foot, or you can go for time. Next, we're going to work on our one-handed passes. Now, I know that most coaches tell you don't pass with one hand because it's not fundamental, but it is a great skill to have. Sometimes when you dribble, you have to be able to go and just be able to fire that pass off right away. Sometimes putting 2 hands on the ball and then passing takes too long. The window is closed at that point. So sometimes you got to be able to fire right off the dribble. So with our one hand chest pass right now, we're gonna go, and we're just gonna go continuous passes with our right hand, continuous passes with our left hand. So again, I'm gonna bring Dwight in so that he can show you how to do it. So right now we're gonna go. I would recommend that you probably put one hand behind your back. Okay, so we both put our left hand behind our back, and we're just gonna go. Gonna be nice and athletic. I'm gonna just pass it right. You pass it right back. Okay, you're catching it with one hand. So now you're working on your hands and your pass. And we'll switch to the left hand. We'll go, we pass it right back. Okay? 10 to 20 reps each hand, or you can go for time. For our last passing workout, we're going to go into one-handed bounce passes. So just like our one-hand chest pass, we're going to go into a one-hand bounce pass, just like we did with two hands. I'm going to use my footwork mat again so that I can mark space and play with different angles out of this pass. So I'm going to bring Dwight in so he can help me show you guys how it's done. So again, I'm going to put my left hand behind my back, got my ball in my right hand, and I'm just going to pass Dwight's right hand. Pass it right back. Play with different spaces on the mat. Okay, same thing with the left hand. I might pass it a little closer there, or I might pass it a little closer to my set. Okay, 10 to 20 reps each way, all for time. So for our last workout of the day, we're going to get into our 2-ball drives with outside hand finishes. If you don't have 2 balls, it's fine, just use one. Just make sure when you do it, you're dribbling with your outside hand. So if you're going from the right side, make sure you dribble with your right hand. If you go from the left, make sure you dribble with your left. We want to start this drill from the wings and attack. Okay, if you don't have a basket, just shoot a ghost layup, okay? So right now we're not focusing on jumping off the quote-unquote right foot, okay? We want to jump off whichever foot is best for that space. So you can use something to mark your space, which I would like you to do. Again, I have my footwork mat. So as we go, going to start on our wing. Obviously, I'm not on the wing right now because I'm demonstrating, but we're going to start somewhere behind the mat, probably around the 3-point line. Going to alternate our dribbles. Going to attack off the mat. As we attack, whichever foot is on the mat, we want to jump off of that foot. So if my right foot ends up on the mat, I want to jump and finish with that outside hand. So we want to play with our space a little bit with this too. So we attack. If I get this inside foot on the mat, I want to jump off my inside foot. Okay, so what we don't want to happen, we don't want you to think too much about, I'm supposed to jump off of this foot, or I'm supposed to jump off of that foot. What usually happens with that, when players are taught like that, we usually end up coming here, start to stutter our feet, so that we can step and jump off of that right foot. Usually if you do that in a game, especially as you get older, you're gonna get blocked. So you have to be able sometimes to finish off your first step, or your second step, or either foot. Okay, so right now we're just worrying about jumping in the correct space. Okay, so we're gonna put your mat in a good space from the mat, from the basket, and wherever foot hits, that's where you'll jump. So if you don't have a mat, just mark it with, who cares, a shoe, whatever you want to mark it with. It's perfectly fine. Gonna go for 10 to 20 makes each way. Make sure you're going right and left, or you can go for time. Today, we worked on our passing, we worked on our finishing, and we worked a little bit on our ball handling without you maybe even realizing it. So I know that last drill may have been a little hard for you guys, but don't be discouraged. I want you to get used to jumping off of whichever foot is best in that moment. Basketball is a game of space, so if you have that space, you have to be able to jump off whichever foot is best. Okay? Sometimes if you take that extra step, you close that space too much, and you can't get a good shot up. So we have to be able to be fluid with both feet. That concludes today's workout. We hope to see you tomorrow for our last day.